Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to teach you just a couple of little tricks that we do when we're walking Chief, how to keep him right next to us in heel position, and also how to keep him from walking out in front without permission. Hey, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. It's a beautiful day. That's Taylor.
Hi.
Yeah, we got Chief with us. We're taking him out for a little walk this evening. So here's a trick when you're walking your dog. A lot of times you see people walking their dog and the dog will like pull out in front of them. It'll be like this, where the dog is out in front of the owner and they're pulling on the leash. And then we've trained Chief to be back by your side. So go ahead and...
Here, Chief. Come here. Sit.
All right, go ahead and walk. So we have trained Chief to stay behind our knees as we're walking. And one trick that we do, Taylor has the end of the leash right there, and she'll just swing it like that. And that keeps Chief from walking in front. So most of the time he does, really well. And every once in a while he'll start to go out in front. And so if you do that, you just swing the leash lightly in a circle. And if he walks into it, it'll hit him on the nose, or it'll just kind of startle him a little bit, but he'll take a step back. That has kept him, the more we've done that, it has kept him back behind our knees. So he's not allowed to pull on the leash. He's not allowed to go out in front of me or Taylor unless we give him permission. So always training him to be on our left side and to stay at our knees or behind us. Sometimes he'll walk behind me a little ways, and that's fine too. If you don't like the idea of swinging the leash, another option would be this. So as the dog walks out in front just a little bit, like that, there you go. Now pull back and wait for him to sit. And as soon as he sits, now you can start walking again. You just keep walking with the dog. Now he's gone out in front again, so pull back. So what this is teaching the dog is, when we were back at the house, our friend's house, we said to Chief, like, hey, you want to go for a walk? And he got all excited and he started wagging his tail. So he really enjoys going for a walk. He loves being outside. He really enjoys this, and this is a treat for him. So when he decides to walk out in front, we stop the walk. And so that's kind of his discipline right there, is that if you want to go on the walk, which we can, then you have to stay right next to us. So yeah, his consequence is if he decides to walk out in front, the walk's over. With a puppy, this method will take forever, but I would suggest using this method first before you use the method of swinging the leash, because puppies won't learn as quickly with negative reinforcement compared to positive reinforcement. Yeah, when you're pulling on the leash and making them stop, it's not like a physical discipline. It's just making them uncomfortable and telling them that if they want to be able to keep walking, they need to stay right next to it. So I have a really hard time when I see others walking dogs and the dog's like pulling them and they're just like, and letting the dog take them for a walk rather than them taking the dog for a walk. Just a couple different practices, you can teach the dog to stay right next to you, and eventually you'll be able to take the dog off the leash So that's a simple technique that you can do with your dog, whether your dog's older or younger, teaching them to walk right next to you. You can use the leash but start off with pulling back on the leash, not super hard, but just tenderly, so that they have that pressure, and then they'll stop and then sit down. And then once they have sat down, then you can start to walk again. And you might make it like 1 or 2 steps and then have to stop, and then 1 or 2 steps again. But eventually that should turn into 5 steps, 10 steps. You should be able to go farther and farther where the dog will stay right next to you. And as you saw, I've done a lot of training with Chief, but he's still not perfect. Like, we go on walks, sometimes he'll still go out in front of me, or like the other day, he saw a bunny rabbit run by, and like he went out like 5 steps, and I was able to say, you know, Chief, come here, and then he was able to come back. But so there's still, I mean, he's still a dog. He wants to smell, he wants to go investigate, and so it's always just kind of continuing that training. Training isn't like you train and then you're all done. Training is just a relationship with the alpha and the dog. So the alpha being the owner or the trainer. And so you are the alpha. Communicate that with your dog and train them. Don't let your dog train you. Check out trainmylab.com. Doing construction on that website right now, but you can go on there and you can put your email in, and once I come out with more like formal courses and stuff down the road, I'll be able to notify you if you put your email in there now. So if you're new to the channel, push the subscribe button all the way in, click the bell so you get notified when we post more videos, hit the thumb more button down below, and hats off to you.